So now we come to decision making. So my question here to you, if you are making any decision, what do you do? If I will tell you, I would like to go and do an investment. Let me explain the situation for you. So for me, I have so many stores in any area you want, bookstores, electronics, anything. And I would like to open a new store, or I would like to see the opportunity, how can I expand? What is the decision making that I should follow? Anyone who would like to contribute? What decision making I should follow to know what is the best option for me? Should I open a new store? Should I expand my own store? What is the decision making?
We'll see currently how you are faring in your current business.
Exactly. So number one, I can analyze what's happening currently. Okay, next.
And then you will see what the current market is.
I see what the current market is. Okay.
And then you will see what's the potential, where the potential is.
Okay, I look at the potential.
Yeah. And then you can decide how much investments that you're able to go, how much risk.
Exactly, and how much I'm going to invest. Okay.
And then you can decide, yes, you can go one way or another.
Okay, I agree with you, but you miss so many steps at the end. Why? Because see, when I'm doing a step, we always do, when we are doing any decision, we always do the following. We go and say, okay, I'm gonna look at all the options that we have. I'm gonna look if I have the money to do it, and after that, okay, I'm gonna go and select which option, which is completely wrong. Why? Because we are missing some steps here. And what are the steps? Well, I need first to have all the alternatives that I have, figure out the market conditions based on each alternative, and after that, figure out the outcome. So let me share with you the decision-making theory, which is 6 steps. The first one is defining the problem. So for any situation, I need to write it down. What is the problem? Okay, the problem that I want to expand. So this is, once I define the problem, I will be able to find the solutions for it. So number one is defining the problem. Number 2 is listing the alternatives. Before going and looking at the market, I don't care about the market. I want to see what alternatives I have. After that, I will evaluate each alternative for the market. So I look at the alternatives. I say, okay, expand my store, opening a new store, opening like a website to sell using like e-store, online store. So I have so many options. So now I list the alternatives. Number 3, I identify possible outcome. What's the meaning of possible outcome? I need to say, okay, if I'm gonna open an online store, what is the situation there? The market may be good, the market is okay, the market is bad. And based on each outcome, I will list the payout, how much I'm gonna get from it. Then I will say, okay, now see, before selecting, many of us will be like, okay, I know the payout, let me go and select. No. Now we need to select the selection process. So you need to select the evaluation process. Which evaluation process are we gonna use to evaluate all these alternatives? It's really essential for you as a manager to understand, okay, I selected this because I used this evaluation process. And at the same time, then once you select the evaluation process, you go and apply and make the decision. So see how many steps we need to really follow every time we are making a decision. And you'll be like, how come? Okay, here's an example. Open new store. I define the problem. I want to open new store. I want to expand. Okay, what are the alternatives for me? It's easy. For me, just for me, I'm saying I have 2 alternatives. Opening a store or opening an online store. See how you need to think about it every time. After that, what is the condition? I look at the possible outcome. What is the possible outcome? The market is good, the market is bad. The market is good for the online store and bad, and at the same time for the actual stores, the market is good and bad. Based on it, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna determine the outcome. See the payout. Okay, if the market is good and I open the store, this is how much I'm gonna get. If the market is bad and I open the store, this is how much I get. See, it's not about if the market is always good. It's good or bad, what's gonna happen? After that, I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna go over the selection process. I need to go and find an evaluation process to evaluate. Look at all these numbers and decide, okay, what project I should go with. Once you understand this, once you apply this every time you are doing any decision, and at the same time, once you follow this theory, when you are trying to help any manager in doing their process improvement, when you are doing any internal audit activity, you will be able to have a systematic way of thinking. Okay, so let's think about, we are going to apply this in a second, but let's think about risk. What is risk? Who can define risk? What is risk? So we are working in our life and we are always, what is risk?
It's a probability of an event that can, I'm trying to get the definition straight.
I don't want to just like common word. What is risk? I'm gonna tell you the definition, very easy to understand, but just what is risk?
It's a probability of an event that can threaten the activity or something.
Okay, so it's exactly something like this. It's a probability of an event that will threaten the organization. Okay.
Anything beyond the normal, the average, is somehow risky.
So if I will tell you that today you are going to win $1 million, this is above the average.
That's a nice risk.
That's a nice risk. So in that case, we can't say anything above the average unless if you can say anything bad above the average is risk, right? So for you to define risk, and you are going to remember this forever. Risk, something bad that may happen. This is the definition of risk. So risk, something bad that may happen. If something good that may happen, that's not risk, that's good, I'm happy with. But if something bad that may happen, we consider it risk. Once you understand the concept of risk, you'll be able to understand how to do risk management, you'll be able to understand how to do risk assessment, because now you are not looking at if the company is making a lot of money, you're looking if the company is losing someone. What's the situation there? Okay, now the question here, what is the decision-making environments that we operate in? So let me go over this example. So we are saying here, we have a project A and project B. Do you remember project A is about opening a store, project B is about opening an e-store. We are saying, if the market is good, project A will make 200, project B will make 500. If the market is bad, project A will lose 100, project B will lose 300. Okay. Now here's my question to you. At what level of risk are we operating at? Well, we have three. The first one, we can be operating on decision making under certainty. What's decision making under certainty? I know for sure, I'm certain that the market is going to be good. I'm certain that the market is going to be bad. This is certainty. There is no risk because I know that the market in the future is going to be good or bad. How? Doesn't matter, I know. Now, the other one, decision making under risk. What's the meaning of it? That I'm not sure if the market is going to be good or bad. But I know approximately, maybe it's going to be good 40%, bad 60%. So I'm not sure. With decision under uncertainty, I mean, I have no clue what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be bad, it's going to be good, what's the percentage, I have no idea. So see, when I'm making a decision, I want to understand at what level I'm making my decision. Is it under certainty, under risk, and under uncertainty? Okay, how can we do this? Easy. Let's step by step do it. If we are doing it under certainty, what's the meaning of it? That you know for sure. So if you know the market is good, which project are we going to select? B. Why? Because it will give you higher. If you know that market is bad, which project are we going to select?
A. If I have the chance not to select.
Yeah, but if you have to select it, you select A because you know, because maybe the years after the market will be much better. So you know. So that can, think in your life when you are making any decision. Are you certain? Do you have the certainty? And you'll be like, how can I get the certainty? Easy. Why do we do research? If someone said, okay, I would like to go and invest in Dubai, is the market good or bad next year? I'm not certain. So how can I be certain? I'm going to research. I will go buy some research. We say, okay, what is the expectation? What's going to happen over the next year? And in that way, I will be like, okay, based on the expectation, I think the market is good or bad. So this certainty, we can get certainty by buying information that will make us certain that this situation will happen. So this is the first situation. Second situation. We are looking at decision making under risk. What's the meaning of risk? That we don't know. See, we don't know if it's good or bad, but we have some idea, we have some percentages. We believe that next year 40% is going to be good, 60% is going to be bad. So we have like an estimation, we have probability. See, like we know probability what's going to happen. This is the good. But what we want to understand, which project should we select. So the way we do it, because we have probability and we understand exactly what is the percentage of each outcome. Do you remember we said we define the alternatives, we define the outcome, and we define the payout. Do you remember the business model? Alternatives, outcomes, payouts. So now I want to understand, okay, what is my expected return for each project? So it's easy. To figure my expected return, I will multiply the percentage with the return of the project. I will be able to figure out plus the percentage of the bad condition with the return of it. I will figure out how much money I'm going to be able to generate. What is my expected return? Again, so based on the current information in the market, 40% is good, 60% is bad. On average, my expected return should be 20. But I look at these two projects, both of them they are giving me 20. So which one I should select?
Indifference.
Indifference. No, it can't be indifference. If someone will come to you and say, look, I'm going to offer you like a chance to select one of two projects. You are going to invest in Dubai and you are going to get million in dirham, or you can invest in North Africa and you can get 1 million dirham. Which one would you go? Which one will give you more return? Which one will give you more return? If here you are going to get a million and here you are going to get a million. So it's the same return. But what's the difference between them? You just mentioned that. Risk. There's a risk. Dubai is different than North Africa. So North Africa, there's a risk that you will not get your money back. But in Dubai, probably it's more secure environment. So in that way, you always need to consider not just the return, you always need to consider the risk. You'll be like, okay, I know the definition of risk. What is the definition of risk again? Something that may happen. Okay, how can I measure it? How can I measure risk? If I have two projects and I say this project is riskier than the other risk, how can I measure it? Do you remember something that we studied a long time ago called standard deviation? Do you remember something called standard deviation? Yeah, and I'm like, I don't even remember it. Okay, let me explain what standard deviation is. You never forget it. So think about it like this. So I am the standard. Every time I deviate from the standard, see how I'm deviating from the standard? This is called deviation from the standard. So standard deviation will determine how much I am deviating from the standard. So standard deviation, because we call it standard deviation, standard and deviation. We have the standard and we have the deviation. So in that case, if I will tell you something like this, we have a project that will give you $100 or will allow you to lose $100. And we have another project that will allow you to make $1 million or lose $1 million. Which one is getting more standard deviation?
The million.
So in that case, what we are saying, when we have more variation, we have more standard, the standard deviation is bigger. In that case, what? We have more risk. So look at our example. Which project is riskier? We have project A, will give you 200 or you lose 100. We have project B, will give you 500 or you lose 300. Which one is riskier?
B.
Project B is riskier. So if we are saying the expected rate of return for both of them is the same, which project would you select?
A.
See? So now we understand risk, we understand return under risk, and we understand how to measure risk. See? So now it's really essential in your life, when you are taking any activity, you need to understand risk. You measure the variation. If the variation is high, it's riskier than if the variation is low. Okay. Next one, we go, okay, under uncertainty. We'll be like, okay, under certainty I know, under risk, I figured it. What about uncertainty if I don't know anything? And I will tell you, you are facing this situation always in your life. Do you always have information, or do you have always enough information to make your decisions? No, you don't have enough information. So what can you do if you have uncertainty? When you are taking any investment project, you are making it to make the maximum return, or you are making it to make the least loss. So you look at it, which project will give me the maximum return? So if your attitude that I want to select a project that will give me the highest return, and I'm accepting if I lose, so your attitude is getting the highest return, you select B. If your attitude, I want to select a project that will give me the minimum loss, so that's what I select A. And we have other methods for us to do decisions under uncertainty. But these are the main concepts, that you are avoiding losses or you are maximizing your return.